I wasn't entirely sure what to expect from Never Being Kissed because, to my recollection, I'd never read any of the Mary Kate and Ashley Sweet 16 books. And the reason I say that is because I grew up reading the Two of a Kind books. I've just finished reading the New Adventures books. I think I had this book, but at the time I would have been, they're 6 years older than me, so I would have been 10. And it's not quite relatable for a 10-year-old, so I didn't actually read it. Reading it now as well, as an almost double 16-year-old, as 31, I actually really enjoyed it. Mary Kate and Ashley are planning their Sweet 16, and there are boys causing complications, and that's all I'm going to say about the narrative. But I thought it was really well written, very engaging. Couple of typos here and there, but nothing too major. And I wasn't sure what it would be like, if it would feel like it was Mary Kate and Ashley. I'm obviously really used to reading about them when they're, 10 years old and 13-year-olds, but 15, almost 16, it feels pretty realistic, and it does feel like, the characters that I've read about in those other books, particularly the Two of a Kind books. Um, I will say they seem to act a little bit older than the average 15-year-old. I don't know if that's an American culture thing, if it's a Mary Kate and Ashley thing, but certainly it's not my experience of being a 15, almost 16-year-old. But nevertheless, I found it to be quite enjoyable. The only thing that I kind of, loved but also hated is that it ends on a cliffhanger. It's part of a series, a short series. I think there are three, but don't quote me. But Never Being Kissed, I did like. It definitely ended in a way where I'm desperate to read the next one, so I'm going to have to go and buy that. But I did enjoy it. And I have to say, it makes a nice change of pace from reading the New Adventures, where they're 10 years old. It's unbelievable with them being, detectives. This one feels realistic, even though, as I said, I think it's slightly older than them being 15. I don't know that many 15-year-olds who go on a romantic date to a fancy restaurant. I won't say any more than that, but generally speaking, it feels realistic. Really like the cover design of this one. That's the back if you're interested. As we can see, there are kind of all sorts of problems that are cropping up in the run up to their party. Something that's slightly confusing, and I haven't looked into this, but if anybody knows anything, it says here first published in Great Britain in 2002, that's when the Olsens were 16. First published in the USA in 1999. And that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think that might be a typo, but if anybody does know anything more about that, please feel free to let me know. And here we have the writing size. It's not too bad. It took me about an hour to read the whole thing. It's about 120 pages. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. Going to go and read the second one, but for now, I'm very happy with Never Been Kissed.